we watched a movie on Mike. He's Jay, and we're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dude, you fucking gotta cut your fingernails.
They're long. That hurts. Just cut them. I grow fast. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Maggie, a sullen, sad Arnold Schwarzenegger has a daughter, and the slow contracting zombie virus that happens, she gets bit, and it takes like weeks for them to turn. But the whole world's in this post-apocalyptic situation. Everybody's burning their crops because they think that's where it originated from. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, who's a teenage girl, gets it, and he decides to take her home from the quarantine hospital to take care of her for the weeks that she goes through this turn, and he doesn't know how to handle it. It's kind of about that.
Typical American story. I liked Arnold in this role. It showed a different side of Arnold before, and you get the Arnold that's action-oriented, the Arnold that's comedic and action-oriented at the same time. This shows more of a dramatic position that Arnold puts himself in, and it was great when you saw him on film, but he wasn't in the film enough to justify what they tried to sell it on. They were trying to sell it Arnold Schwarzenegger in Maggie. The story goes absolutely nowhere. I really don't see it. Just is like... It's like, when is something going to happen? Yeah. Because in this world, okay, I like what they did. I like what they did. They go back to where it's not complete anarchy yet, okay? There is a zombie outbreak, but the police are still in control. The hospitals, the CDC is still in control. If they get bit by a zombie, you take them home for 7 weeks, then the police show up and take them back to quarantine, and then they basically give them a shot and they die. It's cool, I mean, to see that kind of, you know, before it becomes complete, total, widespread anarchy. But still, I think they had a great opportunity to do something with this film, and they just dropped the ball.
Well, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger in a zombie film. Right there. 35 ideas come off the top of my dome. Off my dome.
Oh my god.
35 ideas come to my head right there. If you can put Arnold Schwarzenegger in a zombie film, you can do a bunch of stuff with it. And I get that this was supposed to be a slow, indie, you know, more of like an emotional movie. And the first thing I want to give praise for this movie too is thank you. Because I've always felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger has been an underrated actor.
He is.
I feel like he's got that sense, like he's funny and he's charismatic or whatever, so sometimes that comes off as bad acting or corny or whatever. But he really does. I've always felt like Arnold's got like a really good acting zone somewhere in there, and he's really great in this movie. And yeah, I mean, Hollywood, the way we are now, let's be honest with each other, you and me, it's just us. It's just me, you, and Jay sitting here right now. Whenever an actor goes into a big role...
What do you do in secret?
And he's an over-the-top actor who's got a lot of personality to him. If he stops and just does nothing, Ryan Gosling in Drive, which I love that movie, but he says nothing, the less he does, everybody's got this tendency to be like, oh, he's so withheld. He really just drew it down. Like, it's so amazing, the way he held back in that. And sometimes you can give people too much credit for just doing nothing. But in this, I think Arnold was just like, he was calm. He was very, you could see the emotion going on in his face. He was very upset about what was going on. He wasn't your typical, there's no Arnieisms in this movie. There's no quotes to come from it. But he was just really, really good. And just his character, the way he looked, kind of downtrodden, kind of broken down. This guy who's had the whole world taken from him, he's a simple person. He played that role perfectly. It's like, I love watching you in this setting, Arnold. And just the movie really just didn't live up to it.
I think they were going for like that Viggo Mortensen, The Road kind of film, where it's like, it's down and dirty, it's like, it's a perspective, like it's a family trying to deal with this massive weirdness going on with these zombies coming back. It just didn't feel like Arnold was put in situations enough to really stretch his acting ability. I mean, there were times that he was there, like, you know, he'd cry when he was holding her, when she was turning. There was also scenes with the girl. Because it kind of felt like
Abigail Breslin.
Yeah.
She was good.
She was great. Yeah. And I loved her in Little Miss Sunshine. I loved her in that film. But it felt like she was going sometimes, not her personally, but the script was going, it's like, we want you to, you know, let other people know in the audience what it's like to have this happen to you and you're missing out on the rest of your life. And she goes to have this kissing scene with this dude in a friggin' bus, and it felt so unnatural, it felt so fake, it felt so like forced in, and it was like, you know, why don't you just go back and stay with your dad and be like, you know what, I'm gonna become a zombie. But at the same time, if you're not too grody looking, maybe you do want to get some gas. But they were in Kansas. I mean, what are you going to do?
I would do that too, especially if it was another person who was turning. It's like, we can't hurt each other. I feel like you had a really good acting scenario. You had amazing cinematography with the crops burning, this whole desolate background, this dark the score, the music. I think this movie had everything going for it. But in the script, in the storyline, it was like. And let me preface this by saying, I know it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, but I knew what to expect. I knew it was going to be a slow-burning indie film going into this. But it's a zombie story. Yeah, I was too, and I was okay with that. I didn't want crazy action scenes or Arnold saying one-liners or anything like that. I wanted to see him express his acting chops.
But I mean, again, I would love to see him Arnold.
I would love to, but I knew what to expect with this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it seemed like they had all these, chess pieces in play. And the story didn't add enough moments. There was just not enough moments. It was just like random stuff would happen. Like, now this happened. Oh, I lost my finger. Oh, now this is happening. Nothing really impactful happened. I expected at one point for there to be a breakdown. Yeah. For there to be even emotion, not even on an action standpoint. I expected for there to be an emotional breakdown between Arnold and his daughter. Just like one really just scene for the movie to anchor on, and it just never happened. It was like a slow burn, and it never went up or down. It just always stayed the same pace. And when it ended, you were just like, it was a movie.
I hope Arnold does more of these kind of movies. I hope Arnold gets with a script and a director.
Didn't take a paycheck for this.
That note, he didn't?
No.
Good for him.
No.
He's from the future. Mm-hmm. But I hope that he does more things, because he really did stretch his act. He showed people I can do more than just action sequences and make fun of myself. But at the same time, I hope he gets with a better director and a better script writer, because they just underused what Arnold could do. I mean, it's like people underestimate Arnold. It's like, he's the kindergarten cop guy, he's the Terminator guy, he's the Conan the Barbarian guy. What can he really do? I think that there were moments in this movie that he was genuinely a concerned father, and he was genuinely coming across like, I don't want to do this to my daughter. Yeah. And then when the ending came up with this movie, I'm like, what the fuck?
It could have ended so many ways, and it pretty much ends in the most unexciting
way. Yeah, but that was a total, like, if you were watching this, like, WTF, what? No, nothing happened. It's like you thought this big emotional moment might come, and it ended on a note.
There's a cool scene. There's a cool scene that lends to something more.
Yes, the ending of this movie, towards the end, it does have a cool scene, and it could have been so much richer. It could have been so much cooler, but they just decided to go off in this like little artistic thing that they were trying to do, and I'm just like, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And I can't blame you for it. Basically, what I sum this movie up as, it's a movie with really good acting, unexpectedly great acting for most people, not for me. I expected it from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you've got the star guy in this zombie movie role with a cool idea, and everything's moving along so great, and it's just a great idea, and it feels good, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I felt like they were afraid to take any risks. They were afraid to take any risks, and they were afraid to ruin this movie. When it could have been great, it was just like, man. I give this a 6.0. I thought the acting was great. I thought the cinematography was great. I thought it was a cool story idea, and I felt like they just didn't have the cojones to really capitalize on it. So it's a 6 for me.
I'm going to give it a 5.5. I mean, it's above average. It's not. I just think that they missed out on an opportunity to take advantage of everything that they had going for them.
Yeah. Chance,
That's what she said.
Take a chance.
Take a chance with you. But what's the most dramatic role you've ever seen Arnold in?
What's your favorite dramatic Arnold role? Until next time, guys, click that subscribe button and get some WHAM opinion.
I like it.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.